Imagine you walk up to Dazai and ask him for directions, only for him to either tell you a way straight to hell or laugh it off, then saying that he'd take you somewhere better. Imagine you both ending up on top of the highest building because somehow you just got lost. The scenarios depend upon a lot of things, but if you were a stranger in Yokohama finding your way and asked Bungo Stray Dog characters to help you, this is how I think they would react. Rambo. Being his usual destructive, autistic self, wouldn't even notice you at first. You'd be standing there awkwardly repeating yourself while he's so engrossed in his snacks. But when you finally did manage to get his attention, he'd say something like, "Directions? That's way too simple for someone of my intellect." He will glance around for half a second and smirks, but won't give up directions for free. He would ask for a snack and a compliment about his genius. So you hand over the snacks and he gives you the right directions and then proceed to send you in the wrong way anyways because you did not specify no detours. Takuya. He's not the kind of guy you casually ask for directions because he looked like this on daily basis, but you did it anyways. He's annoyed but also a little smug about it. Without a word, he throws you a helmet and tells you to hop on his motorcycle. You barely get a chance to protest before you're zooming through the city at high speed. And this whole time, he's teasing you, throwing comments like, "How'd you get lost, huh?" By the time he drops you off, your heart's still racing and you're pretty sure he enjoyed being the hero for the day. Now, Yusuna. You catch her during her peaceful tea time and she's all, "Sure, I can help you." But then you made a small mistake of complimenting her outfit and suddenly she's like, "We should go shopping instead." Next thing you know, you're at the mall with her trying on matching outfits and you completely forgot where you need to go in the first place. Directions? What directions? You're now her shopping buddy for the day. Atsushi. He'd be shy at first but agrees to help. Then both of you will get lost together, but I'm sure that you'll love his personality and end up wandering aimlessly together, both of you hoping that someone else would come along and rescue you. At one point, you'll probably consider taking him to a barber shop, because honestly, people really bully him for his hairstyle. Naomi. I think she might not know all the directions, so she would apologize and ask her brother to help. Junichiro, the brother in question, will ask to take you there himself, along with his supposed sister, just to be safe, and would get you a snack on the way as Naomi kept on suggesting ice cream non-stop for 5 minutes. If by any chance you don't reach the destination on time, or something else happened, he'd probably manipulate the reality with his ability to make you happy. Dazai. There are two Dazai, the Port Mafia Dazai and the Armed Detective Dazai. The Armed Detective Dazai would be listening to music with headphones. Once you approach him, he will complain about how he doesn't know the directions either and will completely change the topic to either something philosophical or be direct and invite you to a double suicide with him. The Port Mafia Dazai though, he would be leaning against a wall, looking uninterested in life. He would ignore you so hard, and if you be constant and ask him for help more than 3 times and he have a weapon or a gun nearby, well, he'll probably shut you down so you won't have to ask the 4th time, or have a life to ever get lost again. Kunihira. When you ask Kunihira for help, he will look deeply irritated that you interrupt his perfectly scheduled day. He'd say, "You're off my schedule, but fine." Then whips out his notebook and start planning your entire route, including stops, how many steps you would take, and the estimate time of your arrival. As you walk away, you can still hear him rumbling about how you've ruined his perfectly scheduled day and how everything is now thrown off balance. Techo and Juno. You approach Techo and Juno hoping that they could guide you to your destination. The moment you ask though, the argument begins. They argue for some time about what's the fastest way, which would lead to Techo annoying the shit out of Juno. Soon you'd see them walking away from you, still arguing, and they both will forget about you, your problem, or your existence. Yukuzawa. When you ask him for help, he turns to you with a calm, reassuring gaze and make sure you reach your destination and thank you for trusting him to walk with you. And then just like that, he will disappear into the crowd. Kenji. Asking Kenji for anything is like signing up for unexpected adventures. And as you ask him for directions, he would immediately get excited. But instead of helping you find your way, he'd be like, "I know a better place." And before you know it, you're in his family farm, meeting cows and chickens. At some point, you will completely forget where you have to go. Because Kenji is just so adorable, and now you're best friend with Bestie the cow. Akutagawa. He's not very approachable if you've met him for the first time. But if you were to try anyways, he'd just stare at you for like solid minute without blinking, making you question every life decision you've ever made. Then give you directions quietly, adding, "I'll follow you to make sure you don't waste more of my time." Now you've got this intense shadow silently following you, and even though you're technically getting where you need to go, You feel like he's judging your entire time. It will be the scariest, most effective help you've ever received. Kyoka. Kyoka would probably look startled when you first ask for help. She keeps second guessing herself, and after collecting her thoughts, she would still accidentally ends up giving you the wrong directions. But you won't have the heart to ever tell her that, even if you met her again. Mori. Don't get me wrong, his character is written perfectly, but I don't think you would ask him for anything. Especially if you somehow witness him and Elise in private, you might turn the opposite direction while calling the police. Sigma. He's already panicking when you approach him. He would ask you for directions before you could even ask him, because he have no idea where anything is as he just got here. Before you know it, you're comforting him, trying to figure out where he needs to go. By the end of the conversation, neither of you has any idea where to go. Nikolai. He's the one who can't resist a little chaos. The moment you ask him for directions, he'll grin like he just won the lottery. And without hesitation, he'd send you in the complete opposite direction. And you don't even realize it till you're like good 15 blocks away from where you actually needed to be. Finally, there's Fyodor. You approach him and he's all smiles, but you know something's off. He offers to help, but then he starts talking about how you could join him instead. Like, why bother going some tribal place when you could be a part of his grand plan? Next thing you know, you're wrapped up in one of his schemes and you're completely forgotten that you just needed directions. You're basically a pawn in his game now. And honestly, you will never know how that happened. I obviously just made this video for fun. I have no idea how you would react or what these characters would actually say. So if you made it this far, tell me how the real you would reach out to your favorite Bungo Stray Dog characters if you ever met them for the first time. Again, thank you for staying, take care of yourself, and goodbye.
You'll never be the same. I don't really wanna hurt you, but I can't control the pain. If you're sticking by my side, maybe we could be okay. Okay, maybe you could be the change.